The iron gates of Blackwood Mansion loomed. They were imposing, foreboding. Lily shivered, pulling her shawl tighter. She had assumed the identity of Mary, a timid nurse. Her heart pounded against her ribs, a frantic drum against her resolve. She had to find Sarah. The mansion was a gothic beast, all spires and shadows. It breathed with the weight of secrets. Lily stepped inside, the heavy oak door groaning shut behind her. The air turned frigid, thick with the scent of decay and damp earth. Despite the fire crackling in the hearth, a chill ran down her spine. Mr. Blackwood greeted her, his eyes like chips of ice. He was a gaunt man, his face etched with a weariness that seemed to go beyond years. His gaze lingered on her a beat too long, making her skin crawl. He introduced her to the rest of the household. His wife Abigail remained an enigma, her face veiled and her voice a hushed whisper. But it was young Thomas who drew Lily's attention. The boy, no older than 10, seemed to shrink under his father's gaze. His eyes, too large for his pale face, held a flicker of fear that mirrored her own. He was an enigma, much like the mansion itself. Lily felt an immediate pull toward him. She had to protect him. She had to help him. Days turned into nights, each one colder than the last. Lily settled into her role, caring for Thomas. She learned that his room was next to Sarah's, a cruel twist of fate. The mansion was a labyrinth of darkened corridors and creaking floorboards. Whispers seemed to emanate from the very walls, voices lost to time. She began to notice strange occurrences. Objects moved on their own. Disembodied laughter echoed from empty rooms. The servants, their faces etched with fear, whispered of a curse that plagued the Blackwood family, a darkness that clung to them like a shroud. One night she heard Thomas crying out in his sleep. She rushed to his side, her heart pounding in her chest. He was mumbling incoherently, his small body trembling. As she calmed him down, she noticed strange markings on his arm, symbols that seemed to burn into her memory. They were the same markings she had seen in Sarah's diary, the same markings that had led her to this accursed place. Lily dove deeper into her investigation. She spent hours in the mansion's library, poring over ancient texts, her fingers tracing the faded ink. She discovered a hidden room, concealed behind a bookshelf. Inside, she found journals, yellowed with age, detailing the Blackwood family's dark history. The journals spoke of Alistair's ancestor, a man consumed by greed and ambition. He had made a pact with a demonic entity named Azazel, trading his soul and the souls of his descendants for wealth and power. The price? A blood sacrifice every generation. Sarah had stumbled upon the truth, just like Lily. That's why she had disappeared. Lily's blood ran cold. She realized the terrifying truth. Thomas was the next sacrifice. The markings on his arm were a sign of Azazel's claim. She had to find a way to break the pact, to save Thomas, to save Sarah. Time was running out. Nightmares plagued Lily. Vivid, terrifying dreams of a shadowy figure with glowing red eyes. She saw Sarah, trapped in a dark void, calling out for help. She saw Thomas, his face contorted in fear, being dragged away by unseen hands. Lily started seeing the shadowy figure while awake, lurking at the edge of her vision, always watching, always present, a constant reminder of the danger they were all in. She felt a growing sense of dread, a feeling that time was slipping away. She clung to her moments with Thomas, finding solace in their shared laughter. He was a bright light in the darkness that threatened to consume them all. She told him stories of the outside world, of sunshine and laughter, hoping to instill in him a sense of hope, a hope that she herself was desperately clinging to. Lily knew she couldn't do this alone. She needed help. She reached out to Father Michael, a young priest known for his compassion and his unwavering faith. He listened intently to her story, his brow furrowed with concern. He believed her. Together, they devised a plan. They would confront Alistair and Abigail. They would expose the truth about the pact, and they would perform an ancient ritual to banish Azazel, to break the curse that had haunted the Blackwood family for generations. It was a dangerous plan, but it was their only hope. Father Michael, armed with his faith and ancient texts, entered the mansion. His presence seemed to hold back the encroaching darkness. He was a beacon of hope in a sea of despair. He and Lily worked tirelessly, preparing for the confrontation, knowing that the fate of Sarah, Thomas, and the Blackwood family rested on their shoulders. The air crackled with tension. Lily, Father Michael, Alistair, and Abigail faced each other in the grand hall. The Blackwood family portraits, their eyes seeming to follow their every move, bore silent witness to the unfolding drama. Alistair laughed, a hollow, chilling sound. He denied everything, calling Lily delusional. But Abigail's eyes flickered with a knowing fear. Lily, her voice trembling but steady, revealed what she knew. She spoke of the pact, of Sarah's disappearance, of the markings on Thomas's arm. Abigail's composure finally broke. She lunged at Lily, her face contorted with rage, confirming Lily's suspicions. The charade was over. Suddenly, the temperature plummeted. The shadows in the room seemed to writhe and twist, solidifying into a horrifying figure. Azazel. Its eyes glowed red in the darkness, its voice a guttural growl that seemed to shake the very foundation of the mansion. Alistair and Abigail began chanting in an unknown tongue. The air grew thicker, charged with a malevolent energy. Thomas screamed, his small body convulsing as Azazel tightened its grip on his soul. Father Michael countered with prayers, his voice a steady rhythm against the chaotic chanting. Lily knew what she had to do. She had seen it in her dreams. She had to offer herself in Thomas's place, a life for a life. It was the only way to break the pact, to sever the ties that bound the Blackwoods to Azazel, to save Thomas, to save Sarah. With tears streaming down her face, she stepped forward. "Take me," she cried out, her voice echoing through the grand hall. "Take me instead." Azazel turned its burning gaze on her, a slow, cruel